What up, what up, what up? Thank you for tuning in to the Swish Masters Podcast, and thank you to our sponsor, SS96. Visit ss96.net and use the promo code Swish Masters for 15% off. Yeah, that's right, you heard me right. 15% off on all store items. Hats, hoodies, t-shirts, whatever you need, SS96 has it. Also, don't forget to go and check out that music from Straight Stoner, produced by yours truly. You know what it is, Gut Gang, mobbing, sleepwalking. We out here. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the Swish Masters Podcast. I'm co-host QtheGuru.
What up? I'm Zay, the executive producer.
All right, Zay, the NBA has blessed us with another good one. Another good one. We both predicted the Celtics to win, and they did. Although it was a little shaky there in the third quarter, though. A little shaky there. Yeah. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and react to Game 3. So, as you know, the Boston Celtics won 116-100. And remember, they were at home. The Warriors came storming back in the third quarter, but Boston was able to hold them off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, your initial reactions to Game
3. Great games from Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, doing what stars do, taking over and leading their team. But really, Warriors have to make up for that lack of defense. I think the size really got to them tonight. Al Horford, Robert Williams, they felt him tonight. He was a presence in the paint on both ends. Just not a lot of well-balanced offense for the Warriors. Steph was able to make some big shots. Wiggins did his part. Clay seemed to be trying to get it going, but it just wasn't enough at the end, and they weren't able to really stick around defensively. I guess, like I said, the size and length of Boston is giving them some troubles. But yeah, like we said before, we expected Boston to come in and take this one. So shout out to them for handling business at home and then taking advantage of home court. Yeah, that's my initial reaction, initial thoughts to it. A lot of stuff happened in the game, but it seemed to me that the Celtics had it under control for the most part.
Yeah. The Warriors were killing them again with that pick and roll again. That's really how they came on the third quarter. Steph just, whoever guarding Al Horford, just come set the pick. Al Horford was dropping so far back. You can't do that. You can't do that against a team like Golden State. Even Clay got in on some of it. Give me the screen. You dropping back too far. And I'm just three. That you cannot do that against Golden State. But despite that, they were able to hold on and get the win. A lot of that is due to Jason Tatum figuring it out in the second half. They were able to give him some good looks, and he was able to get the matchup he wanted. Whenever you switched on Steph, he made sure to drive. If he attracted a double, he made the right play. He actually finished with 9 assists and only 2 turnovers. So really good on his part. Really good playmaking on his part to find the right guys, because you know the Warriors are going to pay huge attention to you as a star of the team. So to be able to still get others involved and to score when needed, very important. And shout out to Jaylen Brown again. He seems to be really finding himself in these playoffs, and especially in these finals. You know, he's turned out to be a really, really reliable piece. as you know he can be. Whenever Jason Tatum is struggling, it seems like he can always rely on Jaylen Brown to at least pick up on it. I mean, he had 22 points in the first half. So Jaylen Brown was really key in that first half, and Jason Tatum finally caught on and helped him in the second half. So, yeah, shout out to the Celtics' overall team effort. I think Jaylen Brown responded well to Draymond Green, intensity, and his aggressiveness, using it to his advantage. You know, getting those foul calls. Draymond had early foul trouble, and he did not have the best game.
Yeah.
Not at all. So that's my initial reaction.
Yeah. Draymond was probably 2 points?
Yeah, he actually. Yeah, he actually finished. 2 points, 1 for 4,
and 6 fouls.
Fouled out the game. 6 fouls. Yep. Seemed like
he
almost could have picked up another technical tonight. Almost all the barking, but
Oh man, that would have been that warning, huh?
Listen, man. Basically. Yeah. Now let's talk about who was the most important factor in the Celtics win tonight. So we normally get to do this. So we break it down and see who's the most responsible for the team win. Let's shout out a few players first. We already talked about Tatum. He finished with 26, 6 rebounds and 9 assists. Jaylen Brown, we talked about him too. He had 27, 9 and 5. Marcus Smart had 24, 7 rebounds and 5 assists. Those are just some other standouts from the Celtics team. So who's your MVP?
I think I definitely want to go with Jaylen Brown, simply because he came out on a mission, came out with intensity, was able to pretty much get what he wanted, and he didn't let any outside noise or Draymond or anything like that bother him. He just was about the business, and we saw it on display tonight. 2 huge, ferocious dunks when he just cocked it back behind his head. I was like, yeah, I love seeing that. He was huge for the Celtics, and he played a big first half, and Tatum, like you said, Tatum kind of caught on in the second, but without that initial push, I don't think Boston would be as successful in this game. So shout out to him for, just coming out and setting the tone. I think without him setting that tone that way, they wouldn't have been able to. If the third quarter could have gotten away from the Celtics, and the Warriors could have made a bigger run than they did, but thanks to a well-balanced attack from him, it was a big game, and it'll impact them going forward for sure.
Yeah, good point. I think Jaylen Brown is showing us that if the Celtics finishes finals and actually win, he could potentially get finals MVP. He really could. Especially since Jason Tatum, he doesn't have a good game from start to finish. We haven't really seen that yet. Jason Tatum did come alive in the last half, in the second half of the game. But the thing is, he was kind of inefficient. 9 for 23 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3. Jaylen Brown was 9 for 16 and 4 for 8 from 3. So he was definitely more efficient. But to Jason Tatum's credit, he got 9 assists. So shout out to Jason Tatum for that. But I think I'm right there with you. I believe, I think it's Jaylen Brown. Although Marcus Smart did contribute, he finished with 24, and that's a huge plus for the Celtics. A huge plus, because and he had a lot of open looks, but you gotta be able to knock him down, and he knocked him down.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are a lot better when Marcus Smart is having a good offensive game. It just boosts their whole team, really, and it takes the load off of Tatum and Brown. So definitely is a benefit whenever he's in that 18 plus point game type of night. And yeah, I think the way this team is built with the Celtics is sometimes it's best that Tatum is not really always having like score every single basket, but more so being the guy that initiates and becomes the playmaker. Because when when Jaylen Brown is got it going, Marcus Smart is making some shots. You can rely on Pritchard to get an open corner three and Horford to catch it in rotation, and all the other guys get involved. It helps them as a team. And of course, we expect Jason Tatum to be a scorer, but I think that's an underrated aspect of what he's able to bring because he's a large wing player and he has a good handle. He can really see the floor well. He can see, like one of those passes I was watching. He was on the right wing, made a spin move, and he like made a hook pass around to Pritchard for open three. So when he's doing that and guys are making shots, the Celtics can really be dangerous. Especially, like I said, with those extra contributions from Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown having it going. So I think that's the perfect role for them and a way for them to win going forward.
Yeah, the other thing too is to find a way to get Jason Tatum going early. He has some success off those pin downs. Have him a little bit more off the ball. And give him some good looks. And it was like every time he had some type of pin down, he was open. Now sometimes he missed a shot, but that's a way to get him going. So you have to overly work and over dribble. And that can lead to some turnovers if he over dribbles. Just finding easier shots for him. Because if he gets going, I still believe that makes the Celtics an even better team because the opposing squad will have all their attention on Jason Tatum, and that can get your other teammates more open looks. So. But even despite that, to still be in a position where they're up by 18, but Jason Tatum playing not great.
Yeah,
that still says a lot about this Celtics team. So yeah, I agree with you. Jaylen Brown definitely deserves MVP. We're keeping the squad in it for matching Draymond's aggressiveness and his intensity, and using it to his advantage. And I expect him to do that even more, because if you mitigate the impact of Draymond Green, it kind of takes something out of the Warriors.
Absolutely.
So yeah. With that being said, let's talk about what went wrong for him. So Steph had it going though. Steph and Clay, honestly. And to survive a game like that from them, from the Splash Brothers, because it was almost looking like old Splash Brothers for a minute, in that third quarter at least. Kind of settled in, kind of cooled down. But for a brief moment, you saw the Splash Brothers return for a little second. Steph Curry, he finished with 31 points. Very efficient, 12 for 22 from the field, 6 from 11 from 3. He had a really good game. Klay Thompson, this is one of his better games so far. He had 25, but I think we both agree that Klay has potential to get at least 30 plus in one of these games. So I still don't think this was like the Klay Thompson game. I don't think this was it yet. He just played it better. And the other Splash person, pool person, I forgot the terminology, but pool party. There we go. He finished with 10 points though. It seems like the Warriors weren't getting a whole lot from their bench. And when you have starters that don't really... All right, Wiggins finished with 18. He gave me what I kind of expected. He played... he's a capable defender, but you can only do so much. And I really expect him only to have around like 20 a night, 18, 20 a night. So that's fine. I think the disappointment comes with your starters like Draymond Green to only finish with 2 points. And this is the other thing. I don't expect Draymond to be a high volume scorer. That's not who he is. He's a defender and he's a playmaker.
Yeah.
This is the thing though. He finished with 3 assists and had 2 turnovers. That's not good. And for the defensive side, you foul out with 6 fouls, so that's not good. So it's like he really had minimum impact today, and it sucks because of all that talking we've been hearing since game 2. We didn't really talk about it because we weren't live or anything. But Draymond was doing a lot of talking. Like, oh, I deserve, like, because we were talking about how we thought he deserved that technical. He said, oh, I'm privileged or whatever he was saying. Like he earned special treatment. Like, I don't know. Anyway, you figured all the talking and with the platform he has, I don't know. Your voice speaks louder since he's in the media right now.
Mm-hmm.
Since he's in the media right now, his voice is louder than ever. And if he's doing all this talking, we expect you to back it up. And today, just didn't have it. So, what we're wrong for the Warriors is that really right there. The Draymond not having full. Because I feel like if Draymond had an impact, they probably would have won. At least been more competitive in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter at least. Because again, he did foul out. So that's my take on what went wrong for them.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Steph and Clay, pretty good games. They are the heart. I mean, they are the faces. They're the best players on the team, no doubt. But Draymond is like the engine of the team, if that makes sense. He's the guy that kind of like drives everything, whether it's initiating the offense, making that extra pass, making extra plays, or just being the bully of the team. He kind of fuels their energy and how far they go. And tonight, I think that the size just was bothering him. Like Robert Williams seemed to look pretty good, even though we know he's banged up too, his knee injuries. He was able to, they were really able to neutralize Draymond for the most part. And yeah, of course, like they had great output from their 2 stars in the Warriors, but when you look at the rest of the team, Wiggins did what I expect, about 18. I'm expecting him to get about 16 to 18, somewhere in there, and then the others though is where the problem is. Like we're not expecting like, oh, somebody off the bench is gonna drop 40, but we're expecting a few points from Iguodala, a few points from Otto Porter. The pool party, he's gonna come through and get you like 12 quick baskets, 12 quick points. I mean, and no one was really able to fill that void that they needed, and they suffered. And on top of that, they just could not stop Jaylen Brown. They couldn't do anything with the size of either like Grant Williams, Robert Williams, Tatum. I think that the depth is really becoming an issue. Well, it's not becoming an issue, but it was an issue in this game. And also, they're finally, in Boston, and it was, they don't have the home court advantage. So definitely being in a new arena and everything's probably something that went into effect.
Yeah. And just for clarity, the Warriors bench, they only scored like 18, while the Celtics scored 20. So Boston's others didn't really, their role players didn't have like great games. The only one that really stepped up that's kind of unexpected was Marcus Smart, scoring wise, to give you 24. That's really, really good. And that's not, that's something that's kind of unusual. But for example, Al Horford had 11. Derek White had 7. Grant Williams, he made some big shots, but finished with 10 points. So, and I'm not gonna really get on Pritchard because we only saw him like in that fourth quarter for the most part. He doesn't play a lot of minutes, so I'm not gonna get on him. But Derek White but even though he didn't score like great, or didn't finish with the biggest stats. If you watch the game, Derek White didn't have an impact. At least defensively, he made some key charges and some other key defensive plays. So I guess it's just about the impact, because even though they have great stats, they had more impact. Porter, he had a big shot to tie the game. It's crazy how that shot went in. It was super contested, late in the shot clock, but still knocked that down to tie the game. But the Celtics
been shooting pretty well, man.
Yeah,
I like what he's been able to give the Warriors.
Yes, and the one thing that really went wrong for the Warriors is just they just got out hustled today. The rebounding tells the story. Now, in the previous games, the rebounders were pretty close. We highlighted that. The disparity of the day is pretty big. All right, so total rebounds, Warriors had 31. The Celtics had 47. The Celtics had 15 offensive rebounds to the Warriors 6. The rebounds were key in this game.
Yeah,
and it tells a story. It paints a picture about the hustle. That's what it does. So, yeah, and unfortunately, Steve Kerr, he was at the podium. He said we'll know more tomorrow about Steph's status. So, also in the game, there was a huge tussle for the ball. It was great to see on TV. That's what we like to see, like that hustle. Don't call it. Let's see him fight for the ball. But during that tussle, it looks like Al Horford kind of landed on Steph's lower leg area, and we know he had issues with his ankle before, so he was able to play through it a little bit until Steve Kerr eventually waved the white flag and took his starters out, which is understandable because you don't want to live to fight another day. So that's one thing we'll be looking for. What exactly will Steph's status be? Because again, they do play kind of sooner. They play on Friday, so it's a little quicker turnaround than what we're normally used to. So will he be ready by Friday? I don't know. We'll have to see. And if Steph is somehow out, you may have an issue here because Jordan Poole hasn't played the best in a minute. Klay Thompson is still not Klay Thompson yet, so we'll see. Yeah. But keeping all this in mind, we still have to make a prediction. So let's get to that. So we don't know Steph Curry's status yet. So we're assuming, as in right now, this prediction that he'll be able to play. Okay. Because I think we both agree if he's out, I think we can both agree that they're losing, right? If he's out, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't think we winning it without Steph.
Right. The only way they could win if Steph is out is if Klay has Game 6 OKC type Klay, like straight threes and just.
You saw the press conference. They asked him what was he doing to get out of the slump. He said, "I'm probably just going to YouTube Game 6 Klay." So, I mean, we saw it tonight. He had a pretty big game in comparison to his other finals games so far in the series, and
right. It's just not that Klay yet. It's like a better game.
Yeah.
It's a better game. It's better, but it's not that because the efficiency wasn't.
Yeah,
there yet. And he missed some easy looks too. He missed some open looks. So
yeah, he had a good NBA game, but not a good Klay game. If that makes sense.
Up to his standards. That's all we're talking about here.
Like he is a automatic shooter. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he's used to seeing the ball going a lot more. And still coming off of what the time he's missed. He's doing pretty good. So I'm not mad at it. I just hope that he's able to tap into his inner Klay. You know what I mean? And
the inner Klayness. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. So all right. So we're assuming Steph is healthy. He's able to play. Who you think is going to win Game 4?
Assuming everyone's healthy and good to go, I want to say the Warriors will be able to take one in the Garden, steal a game in Boston, and go back home to maybe take the lead. I want to say that with Steph, they're going to be a little more fired up to avenge this loss and make up for what they missed, and try to just even the series up. I'm assuming healthy Warriors. I'm assuming a win for the Warriors.
Yeah. So I know you're still going for the Warriors in 7. So, and I went for the Celtics in 7. And in order for that to happen, someone is going to have to lose, like, at home, right? Like, the Celtics already have home court advantage. So that means they will technically have to lose at some point. But I don't know. I'm starting to think. I think the Celtics will win Friday. Now, we don't know Steph's status. I believe he'll play either way. But the thing is this. Jordan Poole has not been like the Jordan Poole I thought he would be in this series. And since he's not having the biggest impact, at least as of right now, this series could be over sooner. It may not get 7 games. I'm almost at the point about to change it to 6 games. I'm almost at that point, but we'll see. But I definitely think Boston will win. I think Boston will win this. Will win Game 4. I think Jason Tatum will have a better game from start to finish if they incorporate some of the things they did late in the game into early on. And Boston's just so long and athletic and physical. It's hard to combat that with a team like Golden State. And you said something about depth. We always thought Golden State had the more depth because of Jordan Poole mostly. But if Jordan Poole keeps playing games like this, it's like, okay, what is it? It doesn't matter. It seems like Boston has more depth now and more impact, because Grant Williams shouldn't be having more impact than Jordan Poole based on how they've been playing. But so far, at least tonight, Grant Williams had more of an impact than Jordan Poole. You can literally make that. You can make that argument. So, yeah, if Jordan Poole doesn't step up, Clay had a better game tonight. Hopefully, he'll be able to keep that up. But it will not work at all without Jordan Poole. You gotta get some type of contribution from him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because if not, then that Boston would just and they're at home still. Yeah, it's tough to get it going away. So all signs, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for the Warriors right now to come all the way back and to still lose, and to be down by 18 anyway. That's still bad. With Steph shooting like he's doing, shooting like he is. It's just not looking good. It's not. Steph gave you 30 something. You still couldn't win. Similar to game 1, like Steph gave you one of the best games in the finals. Still lost. It's like, I don't know. It's not looking good if you think about the series as a whole so far for the Warriors.
I mean, when it comes to having one individual having a great game, yeah, you would think it would impact the game a little bit more. But at the end of the day, basketball is still a team sport where the team is successful is how they thrive. I think it's more so about, like you said, others. Clay came out, had a good game. Jordan Poole, the 6th Man of the Year candidate, hadn't really had a big impact in the series yet. I'm expecting them to, as an organization, the Warriors are experienced and they've had their backs against the wall before. I expect them to make the adjustments. I expect Draymond to be smarter, knowing his situation with technicals and fouls and everything. Knowing how important he is to the team, he has to make that adjustment as well as other guys, man. Just showing up and may not be, you're outscoring the other team's bench, but making timely plays and timely baskets is what it's about, more so than the volume. And that's just me assuming that Steph is playing. I'm assuming that they make the adjustments because they're, a championship organization. But man, I agree with you. I could easily see it going the other way because so far the Warriors have just not been able to maximize their efforts, I guess, when it comes to locking these Boston guys down. So I don't know. I'm assuming with the healthy Steph that they're gonna make the adjustments and they're gonna come back and make a interesting series of this so far. But I could easily see it going the other way. I'm not going.
Yeah, I am not confident that the Warriors can't seem to win if it's a tight game. That's not good. Normally, when you think about the Warriors as a team, it's like if you're the opposing team to the Warriors, it's like, okay, we have to blow them out to win. In Boston's case, it's like if we just kind of close, we can win. It's like that's the confidence they have. It's like the opposite. It's like the Warriors have to blow the Boston out in order to win. In the one game they won, it was a blowout, and that's the only game they won. And that's usually not the narrative we're used to with this Golden State team. So that should give you even more confidence if you're Boston. You're like, okay, all we gotta do is stay in it, and we can get the win. Because Boston is making more adjustments right now, and their players are stepping up more right now. I'm interested to see what Steve Kerr is going to do next.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I definitely think that Boston this season has been very much a team that's always making the appropriate adjustments in good time. And there's no doubt that they are benefiting so far in this series. But I think the same thing for the Warriors when you look at it. When you look at Steph having 30 and Clay having 25, and throughout the momentum of the game, they were down, but you couldn't count them out. And that's another thing I feel like they will build on. They'll look at what they did wrong, and then look at that third quarter and these other times in the game where they're like, all right, we're getting close, and they'll figure out how to unlock it. If I'm the Warriors, I'm going into this with the mindset of, you know what, we just got beat, but we were beating ourselves because we weren't making the adjustments on defense. We couldn't really figure out the size. We weren't running. And we still like right there at a lot of points in the game. So if I'm them, I'm looking at that and I'm trying to look at the footage and figure out what did we do right and how can we build on it and chop out all of the bad stuff when you were failing to, stop the lob threat and Rob Williams at the basket. We'll see. Both teams will make adjustments. Ime Udoka has been great, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this next one goes. But yeah, I'm there's a lot that's going on, but no confidence like at all. But I'm saying the Warriors for now.
All right, do you want to switch your overall pick? You want to come on to the other side real quick? I mean,
well, it's still too soon. It's still too soon. All right. About to see how Friday goes.
All right. We'll see if I offer you an olive branch on Friday. We'll see.
Give me loan the guru powers. I need to see the future for some other stuff too, bro. You've been predicting pretty well so far. So.
Yeah, it's all good. I want to go. Yeah, so again, you're predicting Warriors game 4. I'm Celtics game 4. So we'll see. And that's if Steph Curry is playing again. Because again, we both agreed if Steph's not playing, it's a loss. Most likely. Mm-hmm. And the only way the Celtics could lose if Steph Curry's not playing is if they get big headed and don't try as hard because it's like, oh, Steph Curry's not playing, we can relax a little bit. They still can't relax on Golden State because it's still Golden State. That's the only way I can think they lose is if they mess themselves up. And the only other way they could lose is if Klay Thompson has just an amazing game and Jordan Poole steps up in a huge way. That's the only way they can win without Steph.
So Klay dropped 45 in Game 4. Basically. Game 4, Klay. That's your new nickname.
We'll see. But I want to go back to one more thing that went wrong. I want to talk about this too real quick. Steve Kerr took Steph Curry out when he was hot. Do you think that was a bad decision to take him out in the third quarter? And he was trying to keep with his rotations, which I get that. But at the same time, this is the finals. Do you think Steve Kerr made the right decision to take Steph Curry out?
If it's me, I want to leave my guy, my leader in, especially when they have it going. And like you said, this is the finals. It's not, really a need to stick to regular rotation, because at this point, teams are studying it. They know your habits, and especially when a guy's got it going, I definitely want to allow them that space to be able to cook and create and make shots. So I don't agree with it. I understand what he was doing, and I understand, you still have the fourth quarter and you want Steph to be able to, be fresh and ready to go, because that's where you have to close the game out. But like I said, the Warriors are a very momentous team, especially in the third quarter. And when, that's when they, to me, is when they kind of separate the game. It's in the third, and by the fourth quarter, they're like, all right. I feel like the Warriors' mindset is, let's take care of business, and as we open up the second half, so we can chill out in the fourth quarter, and get this easy win. Well, not easy win, but get this win all settled and move on to the next thing. So yeah, Steve Kerr probably should have left, man, but hey.
Yeah, they had all the momentum at that point. I agree with you. He probably should have left Steph Curry in at that point. Although now for the next game, we're not sure because of his status. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely have to see. So you go ahead. Oh
yeah, I just hope he's not significantly hurt. At this point, everyone is hurt. You saw Tatum with the shoulder. Marcus Smart is known for a mysterious injury every once in a while.
Yeah, Robert Williams.
Robert Williams.
Yeah.
But I hope, I'm sure he's in pain, or it might have been painful, but hopefully he's getting some good work with the trainers and the staff. Hopefully he's able to play.
Yeah. We'll see. So those are our thoughts on the game. Again, you're going for the Warriors game 4. You're going for the Celtics. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see. We appreciate y'all for listening to the podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe if you like the content. You can catch us on all podcast platforms. Check out our website as well. Email us if you have any business inquiries as well. You can find the email on our YouTube page as well as on our website or our Facebook page as well. So just check it out, all the social media stuff.
So comments everywhere. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Got a lot of content coming, man. So we appreciate you. We see you subscribing. Got some new subscribers out here. Looking forward to sharing more with you.
Yeah, for sure. So we appreciate y'all, and we'll see you on Friday after game 4.
See you then.
All right, peace.
What up? Thank you for tuning in to the Swish Masters Podcast, and thank you to our sponsor, SS96. Visit ss96.net and use the promo code Swish Masters for 15% off. Yeah, that's right. You heard me right. 15% off on all store items. Hats, hoodies, t-shirts, whatever you need, SS96 has it. Also, don't forget to go and check out that music from Straight Stoner, produced by yours truly. You know what it is, Gut Gang, mobbing, sleepwalking. We out here. Thank you.